Dear students, in this video I am going to discuss about what are the various kinds of normal forms available and in particularly what is 1NF, how to do the normalization in 1NF, 2NF and 3NF. Hello dear students. In this video, I am going to discuss about what are the various types of normal forms available and how to do the normalization using all of that types of normal forms. So see, as you are seeing, there exist basically 6 types of normal forms, that are first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, BCNF, which stands for boycott normal form, 4NF and 5NF, 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF, 4NF and 5NF. Now we will see about that all that normal forms in detail. So what is the first NF? The first normal form. The first one is first normal form, which is usually called as 1NF. The rule for 1NF is a relation R is said to be in 1NF if and only if all the attributes of that relation are atomic attributes. Atomic attributes. Or what is the main aim of your 1NF is to remove multi-valued attributes in your relation. The purpose of your 1NF is to remove multi-valued attributes in your relation. What is the meaning of atomic attributes? Which are indivisible in nature, which can possess a single value for a single tuple. That type of attributes are called as atomic attributes. If your relation consisting of all the atomic attributes, then I can call your relation is in 1NF. If some of the attributes are not atomic attributes, or if they are multi-valued attributes, what is the meaning of multi-valued attributes? If for a single tuple, for that attributes, several values are there, that type of attributes are called as multi-valued attributes. If some of the attributes are multi-valued, then my relation is not in 1NF, then I must do some kind of decomposition process in order to make our relation into 1NF. So the main aim of your 1NF is to remove multi-valued attributes. So see, for example, if I am having the employee-project relation consisting of the attributes as social security number of the employee, project number in which he is working, number of hours he is spending on that project, what is the employee name, what is the project name, and what is the location of the project. So see, employee project table consisting of the attributes as social security number of the employee, social security number of the employee, project number, hours he is working for that project, what is the employee name, what is the project name, and what is the P location. If I have considered this one, while coming for the project location, the project may be located in several locations. It is having more than one values for that P location, so it is not in 1NF. I can divide this employee project table into two sub-relations as employee project 2 and location. In your location table, I can have P number and P location divided into 2 or more tuples in which the multi-valued attribute is present. Likewise, I can have the single valued attributes in each and every sub-relation. So, in a better way, we can take on another table such as student table. The student table consisting of student ID, student name and phone number 1501 A. The phone number is she is having two phone numbers. Only one phone number for the second student, and for the last student also I am having three phone numbers. And I am having the branch information also there. While seeing this table, you can simply identify that it is not in 1NF. Why? Because the phone number field is multi-valued attributes, as because we are having several values for a single tuple. For the 501 student, how many values for the phone number are there? 2 values. For the 503 student also I am having 2 values, 3 values for the phone number. So the phone number field is multi-valued attribute. So our student relation is not in 1NF. In order to make the student relation into 1NF, the alternative procedures are, I can replicate the row 2 times, only having this phone number at the present second time. All the remaining values are similar. Here also the third row should be replicated 3 times. How many number of phone numbers are there? That many number of times all the remaining attributes should be replicated. Now see, now whether your relation is in 1NF or not, I have made the phone number attribute as a single valued attribute by taking only one value per a single row. All the remaining values I replicated. But while considering this solution, I can simply observe that more redundancy is there. If more redundancy is there, it not gives you the best design. So the alternative procedure is, I can subdivide the student table into 2 or more relations such that the multi-valued attribute is not present, as well as redundancy is also going to be reduced. How I can divide is, for example, if I am having SID, SNAME, branch in the first table, while I am having SID and phone number in the second table. For the 501 student A, CSE, 502 student B, ECE, 503 student C, EEE, I can have the replicated information only SID field is replicated 2 times. Whatever may be the phone numbers I am having, that many phone numbers I can replicate here. Not 3 is having 3 phone numbers. So the 503 is repeated 3 times. By dividing the student relation into 2 subtables, ST1 and ST2. Now see here, the redundancy is reduced, as well as all of the attributes as single valid attributes. Now I can say my student table, which has been subdivided into 2 tables as ST1 and ST2, having all the attributes as atomic attributes. Now my relation is in 1NF. Is the way how to make the relation is in 1NF. So what is the main aim of your first normal form is to remove multi-valued attributes. If some of the attributes as multi-valued attributes are there present in your relation, I can replicate the row that many number of times in order to make it as single valued attributes. But because of that approach, more redundancy will be introduced to your relation. The alternative approach is to subdivide your table into more than one relation such that the redundancy is being avoided, as well as you are having the single atomic attributes. This is the way how I have decomposed the student relation such that we are having single valued attributes. So while coming for the second normal form, what is the second normal form says is a relation is said to be in 2NF if and only if it should be in 1NF, and the second rule is it should not contain any partial dependencies. The rule for 2NF is to remove the partial dependencies. The main aim of your 2NF is to remove partial dependencies. Relation is said to be in second normal form if and only if it is in first normal form, and every dependency is complete dependency, no partial dependencies are available. So what is the meaning of partial dependency? We will see now. So see, for example, if your relation is having the attributes as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, where A, B is a primary key or the candidate key of a relation. If I am having the FDs in the format of AB implies C, C implies D, E implies F, F implies G, AB implies D, A implies G, A implies C. These are the FDs I am having. So by C, first FD, what is the first FD? AB implies C. A non-key attribute. What are the key attributes here? The key attributes of your relation are primary keys, that are A, comma, B. All the remaining C, D, E, F, G can be called as non-keys. What is the meaning of your 2NF is all the non-key attributes are completely dependent on the primary key attributes. They don't have to partially depend on the primary keys. So while seeing the first FD, AB implies C, C is a non-key. Non-key is dependent on AB. AB is a complete primary key or not? So a non-key is completely dependent on primary key. So it is a complete dependency. So see, C implies D. Here we are relating non-key attributes, that doesn't matter for us. F is also non-key to non-key. F to G is also non-key to non-key dependencies. A, B to D. So here D is a non-key. Non-key is dependent on AB, which is a total primary key. It is also complete FD. So by seeing here A implies G, G is dependent on only A, but whereas the primary key is AB, G is dependent only on part of the primary key. So this type of FDs are called as partial FDs. So this type of FDs are called as partial FDs. So while considering A implies C also, C non-key attribute is depending on part of the primary key, that is also called as partial dependencies. If the non-key attributes are dependent on some part of the primary key, that type of FDs are called as partial FDs. The main aim of your 2NF is to remove partial dependencies. Partial dependencies. Okay na? And it says that if at all some kind of non-key to key relationships are there, the entire non-key is dependent on the total complete primary key but not on part of the primary key. That is the aim of your 2NF. Hope you understand. The rule for your 2NF is a relation is said to be in 2NF if and only if it is in 1NF, and each and every FD is complete FD or there exists no partial dependencies in your table. So we'll see how to make the table into 2NF. So consider employee project to relation is there. See here, SSN, project number, hour, CNAME and PNAME. This is the attributes. Employee projects table is there. Social security number of the employee, project number on which he is working, number of hours he is working for the project, what is the name of the employee and what is the project name he is working. So before you do the normalization, should make sure that you have some clarity regarding what are the data items that have been stored in your table. So if you have in-depth knowledge about the data items that are present in your relation, then only you are going to solve the normal forms. So while seeing this employee project table, what are the data items I am having? What is the employee social security number? What is his or her name? On which project he is working? How many number of hours he is present on that project? And what is the particular project name? The total data is related to employees and project. So the given FDs are SSN implies E-name and P number implies P-name. While seeing this one, the primary key of your table are, what are the primary key attributes? SSN comma P number. And while seeing all of these attributes are single attributes, atomic attributes, so the table is in 1NF. Now you should make sure that all the attributes, all the FDs are complete dependencies and there exists no partial dependencies among the FDs. So while considering the first FD, what is the first FD? SSN implies E-name. What is your E-name? E-name is non-key attribute. It depends on SSN. It is only part of the primary key, not the entire primary key. What is the primary key here? Here the primary key is SSN comma P number. So SSN is only some part of the primary key. E-name, that is a non-key attribute, is dependent on not the primary key. It is only dependent on part of the primary key. So this FD is partial. This type of dependency is partial. It depends on only a part of the candidate key, not on the entire candidate key. So while coming for the second FD also, what is the second FD? P number implies P name. What is the P name? P name is the non-key, whereas your P number is also part of the candidate key or part of the primary key, but not on the entire primary key. The non-key is dependent on only the part of the primary key but not on the entire primary key. So this is also partial dependency. So in your table or in your relation, I am having two partial dependencies. So it is not in 2NF. According to the 2NF, it is in 2NF if and only if it is in 1NF and there exists no partial dependencies. But in our table, I am having the partial dependencies. When only I am able to remove these partial dependencies, I can make my table in 2NF. So let us solve to make my table into 2NF by using the decomposition process. So we should be careful such that how we should do the decomposition while doing the decomposition such that avoiding the partial dependencies. So I should make this SSN implies E-name as complete dependency. In order to make this dependency as complete, the non-key should dependent on entire primary key, not on the primary key. So the left hand side should be the entire primary key. SSN should be made as the primary key of your table in which the E-name is a non-key. While in order to make the second FD, P number implies P name as the complete, you should make P number as entire key but not a part of the primary key. So the first table should consisting of the attribute as, what is the attribute? SSN, which should be the primary key only and in which the non-key attribute is primary key. And the second table should consisting of P number as the primary key in which P name is the non-key attribute. Why? Because in order to make the FD, SSN implies E name as the complete, This should be the non-key and this should be the key. So I have made it as the key and this as the non-key. So in order to make the FD P number implies P name as the complete, I should make P number as the entire primary key and P name as the non-key attribute. So I have done into the second table P number as the primary key and P name as the part of the non-key. So this is a part of decomposition I have seen, and already you know what should be the characteristics of your decomposition. The first characteristic of the decomposition is attribute preservation. What is the meaning of attribute preservation? Whatever may be the attributes that are present in the total table or the primary given table, all of the attributes should be present in at least one of the subtables. So try to check. SSN is present in the first table, P number is there, hours is missing, so I should cover hours. E name is present and P name is present, so I should cover hours. Where it is better to put the hours here? Where it is better to put the hours? Is the hours is related to employee? Not like that. Hours is about how many number of hours the employee is working for a particular project. Shall I put the hours in the second table, that is project table, project number and project name? No, hours is not also related to project. It is related to both employees and projects. That's why I will take some another subtable as employee project 2 table or project 3 table. This is, let us call it as employee table. Why? Because it consisting of entirely the employee information. I can call this table as a project table. Why? Because it consisting of entirely the project table. The third table is employee project 2, which relates employee and project and the associationship between them, in which SSN and P number is the primary key and SSN is a foreign key from this one and P number is a foreign key from this table. That particular employee has worked that many number of hours on that particular project. So see, while coming for SSN implies E name now, is it the complete FD or not? Yes. E name is the non-key, is dependent on the entire primary key. Why? Because in the first table SSN only is the primary key. So it is a complete FD, it is not partial. So while coming for the next one, P number implies P name. Here in the case of P number implies P name also, P name is a non-key, is dependent on entire primary key. Why? Because in the second table P number is only the entire primary key. So it is also complete. Okay na. So the second property of your decomposition is dependency preservation. What is the meaning of dependency preservation? All the FDs that are held over the basic table should be present in at least one of the subtables. All the 2 FDs are holding in subtable. So dependency preservation is also done during my decomposition. The third property is no redundancy. We have avoided the redundancy also. So decomposition is good. So when the given table employee project 2 consisting of the attributes as SSN, P number, hours, E name, P name has been divided into 3 subtables as employee project, employee project consisting of the attributes in the first table as SSN and E name, consisting of the attributes as P number and P name in the second table, and SSN, P number and hours in the third table. We have solved the problem of partial dependencies. Now the dependency SSN implies E name has become the complete one and P number implies P name has also become the complete FD. We have removed partial dependencies. So now our table is in 2NF. Now it is in 2NF. How we have made that one? By decomposing this employee project table into 3 subtables. We have made the table into, we have transformed the table into second normal form. So what is the aim of your second normal form? No partial dependencies should be present in your table. If at all some partial dependencies are there, we should decompose the table such that the partial dependencies will be converted to your complete dependencies. So this is about 2NF. So the next one is third normal form. A relation R is said to be in third normal form if and only if it is in 2NF and every non-key attribute doesn't dependent on another non-key attribute, as well as the non-key attribute should be non-transitively dependent on primary keys. So what are the rules for your third normal form is, it should be in 2NF as well as no non-key to non-key relationship should exist, or it should avoid non-key to non-key relationships, and it is also aims to avoid transitive dependencies. So what is the aim of your third normal form is to avoid transitive dependencies as well as to avoid non-key to non-key relationships. Every non-key should non-transitively dependent on primary key attributes. That is the rule for your third normal form. A relation is said to be in third normal form if and only if it is in second normal form and every non-key attribute is non-transitively dependent on primary key attribute. So we'll see with an example what is the meaning of transitive dependencies, what is non-key to non-key relationships. So see this one. This is the basic table that has been given for us, supplier table. What are the attributes within your supplier table? S name, street, city, state, tax, consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attributes. S name, street, city, state and tax. It gives the information about supplier. What is the supplier name? What is the address of that supplier? In which street he is living? What is the city of that supplier? State, and what is the tax that is paid by that particular supplier. So what are the FDs that are holding on here is S name implies street, comma, city, comma, state. State implies tax. S name implies state, comma, tax. Okay. So what is the first FD? S name implies street, comma, city, comma, state. By using the decomposition property, what is the decomposition rule? If x implies yz is there, I can decompose that into x implies y and x implies z. I can decompose this one into S name implies street and S name implies city and S name implies state. So all these are the first FD. What is the second FD that has been given for you? State implies tax. The third one is S name implies, okay, yes, state implies tax. So these are the two rules that have been given for you. So while considering the first FD, S name implies street. Street is a non-key dependent on the primary key. This is primary key. All these are non-keys. According to the rule of 3NF, every non-key mandatorily non-transitively dependent on primary key. There exists no non-key to non-key relationships. So street is a non-key dependent on S name directly. City is a non-key dependent on S name directly. State is a non-key dependent on S name, that is the primary key, directly. Street is dependent on primary key, city is dependent on primary key, state is dependent on primary key directly. So while considering this state implies tax, state is also non-key, tax is also non-key. So non-key to non-key relationship has been existed here. But according to the third NF normal form rule, we should avoid non-key to non-key relationships. But after combining S name implies state and state implies tax, by combining these two rules, by applying transitive rule, what I can get? X implies Y and Y implies Z. I can have X implies Z as S name implies tax. So according to the 3NF rule, every non-key should dependent on primary key. What are the FDs I should have? S name implies street, S name implies city, S name implies state, S name implies tax I should have. But I am having directly S name implies street directly, S name implies city directly, S name implies state directly. But S name implies tax I have derived using transitive property. That means tax is dependent on S name transitively but not non-transitively. So this transitive dependency has to be made as non-transitive dependency, then only our relation can be converted to 3NF. So did you understand? Here I am having one non-key to non-key relationship and I am having one transitive dependency where the tax non-key is dependent on primary key, not directly but transitively. We should make that one as the non-transitive dependency. Then I can have my relation converted to 3NF. We'll see how to convert that non-transitivity into non-transitivity. The better one is to do the decomposition. How I can do the decomposition? I should make this one state implies tax as key to non-key but not non-key to non-key. In order to make this one key to non-key relationship, I should convert state into key within my table. So in one subtable, I can have state as the primary key in which tax is there. Then state implies tax will become key to non-key relationship where the tax, the non-key is directly dependent on the primary key. Okay na? So this is the first table and within the second table I can have the sublayer all the additional information, that is S name comma street comma city comma state. So in which I can make S name as primary key. Then S name implies street, street non-key to key. S name implies city, key to non-key. S name implies state, key to non-key. And within the first table, state comma tax, state implies tax also becomes, now state comma tax becomes key to non-key. I have converted the non-key to non-key as key to non-key. By dividing the tax attributes into another subtable, I have avoided the transitive dependency also. Here within this table, the S name is not there. The S name to tax I cannot directly derive. S name is present in the another table. So the transitivity can also be avoided. So by dividing the relation into two subtables such as supplier to and tax information, in the first subtable S name, street, city, state, and in the second subtable state and tax, in which I have made the state as the primary key. Now the state implies tax becomes key to non-key relationship And why? Because the S name is present in another table and state has been present in another table. I can't have the direct transitive rule. I can't apply the transitive rule in order to derive S name implies tax. That's how I have avoided the transitivity also. Now within these two subtables, all the dependencies are key to non-key dependencies are only there, as well as they are non-transitive dependencies. Non-transitive dependencies. So I have converted the given table into subtables where all the FDs have converted as key to non-key relationships and no transitive dependencies are there. That's how we have made our table into third NF. So what is the rule of your 3NF? A relation is said to be in 3NF if and only if there are no non-key to non-key relationships existed, as well as there are no transitive dependencies are there. So this is about 3NF. So in this video we have discussed what are the various types of normal forms available: 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF, 4NF and 5NF. We have described what is NF, what is about 1NF, what is the rule of 1NF. A table is said to be in 1NF if and only if all of its attributes are atomic attributes. So the main aim of your 1NF is to remove multi-valued attributes. And the second, while coming for the 2NF, the rule for 2NF is a relation is said to be in 2NF if and only if it is in 1NF, as well as for each and every FD that is present in your table, all that FD is complete FD, no partial dependencies are available. So the main aim of your 2NF is to avoid partial dependencies, and we have seen what is the meaning of partial dependencies and how to convert that partial dependencies to complete dependencies. And the third NF, while coming for the third normal form, the main aim of your 3NF is to remove non-key to non-key relationships while avoiding the transitive dependencies also. So in the next video we will see what is about BCNF, 4NF and 5NF.